Hey everyone! Welcome back to the Book Nook, where we work on our reading and writing goals together. In our last lesson, we studied a model narrative and built a storytelling checklist. And now, it's time to put that checklist to work. So, the Storytelling Festival is coming up, and we're going to create our very own traditional tales. But I'm not doing this alone. I invited my friend B from Read and Rome to help brainstorm some story ideas with us.
Hey storytellers! I'm so excited to be here. Brainstorming is one of my favorite parts of writing. There are so many different ways to come up with a great idea for our own story.
Yes, and today we're going to do two big things. Brainstorm a list of story ideas inspired by traditional tales, and choose one strong idea to develop into a short traditional tale. Okay, B, before we start throwing out ideas, let's remind ourselves what makes traditional stories different from other types of fiction. What do you remember about what sets myths, fables, and folktales apart? Write down your ideas.
How'd it go? I remember that myths usually explain something in nature or about the world, like why the sun moves across the sky or where thunder comes from. Fables, on the other hand, have a clear moral or lesson, and they often use talking animals and relatable characters to teach it. And folktales? Those are stories that have been passed down for generations, teaching about culture and values.
Right, and they all have something in common. Challenges, characters who make important choices, and settings that feel magical, ancient, or legendary. A lot of these stories also end with a good lesson to take with us as readers.
So, when we brainstorm, we want to come up with ideas that have a good message and are also full of adventure.
So true. Okay, let's get started. We each picked out some strategies to help come up with ideas. Time to try them out together.
All right, the first one is asking a why or how question. That's how a lot of myths and fables are created. For example, why do the stars shine at night? Or how did the first mountain appear?
Oh, I love that. What if there was a story about why wolves howl at the moon? Maybe the moon used to be on Earth, but a wolf sang it into the sky.
Oh, that's so good. I was thinking, what if we explained how the ocean got its waves? Maybe there's a giant sleeping under the sea, and every time he stirs in his sleep, the waves roll across the shore?
Oh, that reminds me of an idea I had. Why does the ocean have waves? Well, what if the ocean could actually listen to people's thoughts? Like what if someone's emotions could control the waves?
Great idea. That could be a myth about how storms are created or why the tides rise and fall.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, storytellers, pause here and come up with your own why or how question to inspire a traditional tale.
All right, ready for the next strategy? This one is all about starting with a hero or a magical being. Many folktales and legends follow a brave hero, a trickster, or a magical creature.
Right. We read stories like this about Maui, Theseus, and more. We might write about a shapeshifter who must prove his worth to the gods, or a girl who discovers she can talk to the wind.
Oh, I really like the idea of talking to the wind. What if someone had the power to command the wind, but they didn't know how to control it? They could accidentally create storms or make ships crash.
Cool idea. I was thinking about a warrior whose tears turn into rivers. Like whenever he's sad, he creates a new river in the world.
Yes, that could be such an emotional story. Okay, everyone, pause here and think of a hero, villain, or magical being that could be at the center of your story.
Okay, last strategy. This one is perfect if you don't want to start from scratch. You can take inspiration from a real myth, fable, or folktale and change it.
Exactly! What if a story like The Tortoise and the Hare had a completely different race? Maybe a bird challenged a fish. Or what if East of the Sun and West of the Moon took place in the desert instead of the snow?
Or what if the Loch Ness monster wasn't a monster at all? Maybe she was a guardian of the lake, protecting something hidden deep underwater.
That would be such a great twist. All right, storytellers, pause here and think about a myth, fable, or folk tale you've heard before. List some ideas of traditional tales you can retell and make your own.
By now, we all probably have a few different story ideas. But before we pick one, we need to make sure it has all the right elements.
That's right. Remember your storytelling checklist? A great traditional tale needs a character that faces a challenge, a setting that feels ancient, mysterious, or legendary, a conflict, something big the character must overcome.
Let's test one of my ideas and see if it has everything it needs. A girl discovers that the ocean responds to her emotions, but when her fear and sadness grow too strong, the waves turn dangerous and threaten her coastal village. As a powerful storm approaches, she must learn to control her emotions to calm the sea and protect her home. Okay, let's check. Character? Yes, the girl with a special connection to the ocean. Setting? Yes, a coastal village near an ocean. Conflict? Yes, she accidentally causes destruction and must set things right.
That's a really strong idea. It has all the key elements of a traditional tale. Now, it's your turn. Look at your story ideas and pick the one that you feel most inspired by. Take a moment to circle your strongest idea.
Now that you've chosen a strong idea, let's add some details to be sure it has a strong character, setting, and conflict.
Take a second to record some ideas about your main character, who is at the center of the story, setting, where does this take place? Is it magical, mysterious? The conflict, what problem or challenge does the character face?
Once we have these big pieces in place, we can start expanding. In our last lesson, we learned that great storytelling isn't just about what happens. It's also about how we tell the story. So don't worry. Soon we'll use descriptive details to create mood, sensory language to bring the setting to life, and character actions and dialogue to make the story feel real. For now, if you have these three things, the main character, setting, and conflict, you're ready to move on to the next step.
And what is up next?
Now that we have our story ideas and our key story elements, we're ready to organize our plot. Next time, we'll take our characters, setting, and conflict and start figuring out how the story will unfold.
Amazing! I bet you're all going to write such creative stories.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Bee. Great work today, everyone. Have fun working on this step in your writing process today, and until next time, keep working on those goals. Bye!